Hello everyone. Before tonight's story begins, I would like to apologize for the length of time between videos. As we all know, life does throw us large curveballs. But when it does, we just need to swing for the fences. But with that being said, I'm back in the narrator's chair and I'm ready to tell some stories. With that being said, does anyone remember Channel 42? I work at a TV station as an editor, and I was going through our tape archives, and I found a few VHS tapes. All of them were labeled. Each label had Channel 42, followed by the show and episode. After watching them, I kinda wish I hadn't. I don't know why my parents let me watch this. Maybe they didn't even know what was happening. I decided to come here. Maybe some of you will remember this channel, but here's a rough description of each tape. Channel 42. The Stitches the Clown Show, episodes 1 through 8. The show's full title is in Stitches the Clown's Funhouse. Each episode starts the same. A clown with blood red hair, dead eyes, and a sloppily applied type of cream makeup. In a black and red clown outfit, who comes on the screen. He flashes a fake smile and says, "Hiya, boys and girls. Welcome to," followed by a drum roll, "the Stitches the Clown Funhouse." Canned noise of kids going yay comes up. Then he goes into his activity he'll teach the kids for that day. That's where things go off the rails. Episode 1 was him teaching the kids how to remove human kidneys. Episode 2 was him telling them to put ammonia and bleach in a bucket and leave it in their parents' room while they slept. Episode 3 was slightly better, as all he did was teach them how to make food. The ingredients included rat poison, for flavor, he noted, and a human heart. Episode 4, the show changed. The set changed to a dingy basement. All you could hear were the clowns giggling, and all there was a child tied to a table. An off-screen voice notes, "Today, they're gonna learn how to remove a human brain." I turned it off at that point. Why wasn't this shit reported to the police? Maybe the studio airing it didn't want to ruin their reputation. What made me really sick was when I remembered there were several more episodes of this clown teaching kids. Deciding not to go back to the funhouse, I moved on to the next tape. It was labeled Channel 42. The Free Loves. The show was a clear knockoff of the likes of the Teletubbies and Barney. The Free Loves were a family of creatures of varying colors. There was Daddy Freelove, Mama Freelove, Brother and Sister Freelove, and Baby Freelove. They were creepy, but no more so than the Teletubbies. I mean, seriously, they gave me the creeps. Episode 1 and 2 were normal, as far as kids shows go these days. Nothing out of the blue. But it was episode 3 when things started getting odd. It was called The Free Loves Learn About Love. The entire episode was the creatures speaking in tongues. No movement. Blood came out of the costume's eyes, and occasionally there was a flash of some thing on the screen. I made out the words, "The void is watching." And that's it. While disturbing, it was still preferable to Stitches the Clown. Episode 4 was somehow even worse. It was called The Collectors Come to Visit. The episode started normally until a knock on the door. Daddy Freelove opens the door and a tall creature is there. Hollow sockets for eyes and no mouth. It was tall with elongated arms. I felt unnerved, but I kept watching. Daddy starts begging, and the creature proceeds to scalp him. The rest of the whole family is being scalped and flayed. Episode 5 is a normal episode of kids' television, except the Freeloves are missing their skin. They looked in pain with each step, but they continued to do their routine. Without warning, they attacked the cameraman and began eating him. The episode ends there, as well as the tape. I'm happy to say I found no more episodes of the Freeloves. Well, I found one, but we'll get into that later. The next tape I watched was called Channel 42, It's Fun to Learn with Benson. It was an animated series featuring an anthropomorphic bat named Benson. The only lessons it taught was methods of suicide. I'm not gonna go into detail about it, but it was all pretty disturbing. The other characters, in case you're curious, were named Ralph the Razor, Nancy the Noose, and Sammy the Shotgun. I think you get the idea. Now the final tape was labeled Channel 42. The Freeloves meet Stitches the Clown. Now, having watched both, I didn't want to watch the two meeting, but against my better judgment, I popped it in the player. The Freeloves were still skinless and decaying. Okay, this is already messed up. Then a cartoon car horn sounds, and there's a knock at the door. Mama Freelove opened the door, and the clown was there. He handed her flowers and smiled at her. He looked worse than before. His eyes were completely black and his teeth were jagged. She let him in, and he saw baby Freelove. He picked up the baby creature and proceeded to shake it violently, like he was mixing a drink or something. Mama didn't say anything. She barely reacted. Daddy Freelove seemed angry and started yelling at the clown. Stitches feigned a tear, then offered him a flower. When Daddy Freelove learned, the clown pulled out a revolver and shot him. The episode consisted of the clown violently murdering everyone in the scene, and yet he never stopped smiling. With the smile still on his face, the clown slowly turned to the camera and spoke.
This has been fun, boys and girls. But sadly, the network is closing our funhouse. So until we meet again, remember what you've learned and that I'll always be right here.
He pointed at his heart with the revolver and fired. After hours of Googling and forum crawling, I haven't found anyone who has ever heard of the Freeloves or Stitches the Clown or even Channel 42. If you have any information or any stories, please share them with me. I need to know more.
Update!
Be that as it may, my curiosity got the best of me, and I went combing through the archives once again, and I found 2 more shows. The first one, Channel 42, The Minstrel Klaus Variety Show, Episode 21. A man comes on stage, and his skin doesn't seem to fit his frame. He welcomes us in a thick German accent to his variety show. What follows is a bunch of sketches and games. The first one is a game of hangman, where the audience picks letters at random. The only difference is, there's a weeping man with a noose around his neck. Each wrong letter draws him closer to death. The buzzer sounds and he's dropped with a loud crack. His feet twitch and the curtains close as the audience howls with laughter. I should note the audience all had an inhumanly wide smile. The first sketch starts. It's something like I Love Lucy or a similar show. A badly bruised woman tosses pizza dough in the air and checks something on the stove. Long story short, a deep fryer launches all of its white-hot grease in her face. She screams in agony, but the audience laughs. The next segment is Minstrel Klaus dressed as a Nazi and chastising a frightened pair of people. He turns to the audience and says,
What should I do with them?
The audience chants,
Purify them!
and that's when I stopped the tape. Screw that. The next one was called Channel 42, The Mystery Gang. And yes, just as predicted, it's a by-the-numbers Scooby-Doo clone. The characters are Frank, Fred, Danielle, Daphne, Mike, Shaggy, and Mika, Velma. Also, Rex the dog. I know, pretty generic. Well, that is until episode 2. The group spends the episode staring at the camera and just crying. Rex starts speaking in tongues. Now, episode 3 picks up like nothing happened, except Rex is gone. No one mentions it, but I notice all the characters look distraught. At one point, Mike and Mika are confronted by that week's villain, who proceeds to violently rip out Mike's throat. Mika is then force-fed it. The next episode, same as the last, except Mike is now gone. Halfway through, Mika finds out She needs to hang herself. This continues until the final episode, where Frank just cries through the entire show. Nothing else. Except at the end when he shoots himself. And yes, that was very depressing.
Update!
So I heard something downstairs and found a VHS tape on my kitchen counter. It was labeled, "Watch Me." I popped it in and I'll be writing what I see. Okay, so it's clearly more Stitches the Clown. I'll never forget that clown's laugh. He's holding a camera, I think. He's looking into someone's bedroom from a window, and the door just opened. Wait a minute. That's me!